We were waiting to see what Mr. Feinberg said so that we didn't have to do everything twice. Because several weeks ago he said, look, BP's out of the claims business. Well, if BP's out of the claims business, then let's probably not submit our claim to BP.
Right.
So we were waiting for today to hear what he had.
Okay. And what are you taking away from what he said so far?
Well, my takeaway is that it's going to get easier, that we can look for some look to do something that will take care of emergency issues as it relates to 6 months, and then begin the process of, more or less working out with them what we think would be a final settlement. And so it's a clear direction. Also, like the idea, we do everything electronic as opposed to having to go to claims offices and sit down. So that's very appealing to us.
Right.
I'm also the Secretary-Treasurer of the Florida Restaurant and Lodging Association.
Right.
So we worked very hard today of trying to make the point to him that we can help him and his staff with putting together the template, so to speak, on what all the different types of variables are and what the different types of industries we have inside the industry. Because in other words, a hotel owned by one owner is one thing. A condominium hotel that's owned by a lot of different owners is another thing.
Right. Very much
Then you've got restaurants, then you've got bars. We also manage all of these retail establishments located right outside the window here. We also manage, over 100 charter boats. We manage, what's called party boats or head boats.
Sure.
We have people that are in the dolphin cruise business, and so we really have to help all of them. And so ours is a little more. We have a golf course. We have retail, Destin Commons. So we have a lot of different businesses.
It sounds incredibly complicated to try to figure out.
It is. We'd much rather go in and do one claim instead of the 24 different businesses that we're in, and have to talk to 24 different claims adjusters or whatever you want to call them. So, and he said today in our meetings we could come to them with one big package.
Okay.
So that's what we'll probably do. The hardest part of the whole ask is going to be, okay, what do we anticipate is going to happen next spring? Because what we don't know is how many people didn't come here this year and went somewhere else and had such a good time that they may not come back next year. Myrtle Beach and Hilton Head's up 300% from any other year they've ever had. So, did the people from Atlanta, which is our biggest market, drive over to Myrtle Beach and Hilton Head? If their proposed settlement is, let's say, his words, fair and generous, well then maybe we should take the check and take our chances and work with the TDCs and so forth to try and lure those people back.
Right.
This was going to be our year of milk and honey, because last year we had the recession. The year before that we had half recession and $4 a gallon gas. So this was and it was trending that way. We were continually over 20% above what we even forecasted, and the forecasts were 10 to 20% over what we did last year. So, even though we do perhaps in some of those months as good as last year, that means we're down 23, 25% from what we thought we were going to do.
Right.
So and the good news is, today, when he was asked that question more than once, he led us to believe that they will take into account what our projections were. We have projections that you turn into banks. We have things that you do. So to me, it would be easy for him or his assigns to mitigate it.
Have you had to do layoffs so far to try to
We were told, we had Doug Suttles here, who was the COO of
Yeah.
BP, and we had him right here in this very room. And we specifically asked the question and even phrased it in more than one way to make sure that we got the right answer, and had it confirmed. Do you want us to lay people off, or do you want us to keep them and then just submit that as part of the claim? And because we heard so many mixed things, we heard, you do what any shrewd businessman would do if your business is down. And then we heard, keep them employed and make it part of your claim. So we said to Doug, do we lay these people off, or do we keep them and you pay us? He said, you keep them and we'll pay you. And then we said later on during the same presentation, okay, we just want to clarify, we should keep these people and then submit that as part of the claim. And he said, that's exactly what you should do. Don't lay anybody off.